I want to tell you today about what I'm learning about presence in the midst of disruption. The psalmist notes, O Most High, when I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. Isaiah writes, the prophet, God is my salvation. I will trust in him and won't be afraid. We know faith doesn't make the storms go away. We know faith calms our anxious hearts as we rest in the shelter of his wings, the psalmist sings. Psalm 23 reminds us that when we go through valley experiences, the shepherd's rod and staff, they comfort us. So today, I want you to know that God is present with you. I don't like it, I'll admit it, when my life is disrupted, when things are off schedule. Certainly not on the scale that we find ourselves in during this pandemic. Normalcy has been flipped on its head. Things aren't the way they usually are, and I don't like it. It's made me think, though, as I mentioned yesterday, that times of suffering or times of disruption can become a kind of gateway for transformation, for change. Since our rhythm of life has been slowed down now, since our focus has narrowed to the simpler and the more mundane, what might you and I learn? I'm wondering if this new rhythm can be an opportunity for us to see the dailiness, the everyday actions like hand washing as an opportunity to practice the presence of God. I hear that some of you are praying the Our Father or the Lord's Prayer as you wash your hands, like I'm doing. So maybe these daily opportunities or practices might become prayer for us. Like when we show up for our spouse every day now, all day. Show up for the kids every day, all day. Maybe they can become moments of gratitude. Maybe homeschooling can even become an opportunity to know our children in new ways. Here's the question I raise. Can these disruptions in our normal schedule be seen as a kind of spiritual practice in which God can become more present to us? Can they become prayer for us? I think so. More than a few spiritual teachers over time have said that while God is not the cause of disruption or suffering, God is present in suffering, in the disruptions of life, in joy and sorrow, in the predictable and the unpredictable. In all things, God is present. God is present in the flow of life that allows all of life to become a prayer. Surely this must have been what Paul had in mind when he spoke of praying without ceasing. So these days, we know they'll be remembered and talked about by any and everyone that goes through them for generations. So my prayer is that we might know of God's abiding presence in and through all these days. May we know that God is with us, even in the midst of this pandemic. Today, church, my prayer is that you might sense God's presence in the midst of your dailiness, in the midst of this disruptive period. And until we meet again, my prayer is that you will know God's presence in everything that you see and everything that you feel and do. So stay safe, stay well, and stay connected in every way that you are able.